What's up, everyone? It's Saturday morning, and that means it's Season Gaming Bitcast time, and we've got one hell of a show ready for you today, man. I'm excited. So, as always, Ainsley Bowden going his whiskers this week. Got to represent for my Dark Souls family. I've got my partner in crime, who apparently is showing up today as a pair of nuts, and we're just going to go with it.
Always.
There he is. Let's see the shirt.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm over here trying to download stuff.
Coming in as Craig. Love it. Love it. We are going to talk about Tim Sweeney's huge nuts, by the way, so we'll get there.
Fantastic.
Luke is back with us again. Always good to have the ghost here with us, host of the Xbox Expansion Pass, and our community is obviously very familiar with Luke. So how you doing, sir?
I'm great, man. It is nice to have some concrete news to talk about with Xbox, but the topic is debatable, I suppose. But it's great to be here, man. I love the Bitcast, so it's always good to be back. Thank you.
Yes, and you got that Sea of Thieves quest turned in just in time.
Just in time. Well, we can tell that story if you need it.
And joining us for the first time, our very own Epic Beard Man in HRBomber from Gaming Beyond the Box. We've been trying to get you on for a while. We've been talking for a long time about this, so it's awesome to finally have you here, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited.
And you got the Scalebound shirt. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, yeah. Had to represent, since why not? Since the lineup for this year is a little scarce, so might as well bring out something that gives some hope to the people,
I don't know if Scalebound's giving hope.
Not too much. Platinum Games wants it back, though.
Well, we said it before the show started, but just email Phil. It's fine.
Yeah, man.
Why not,
you didn't know?
Just
Phil just has an open communication with millions of people.
Right?
Just talk to him. Yeah. Hilarious. All right, what's up, chat? Good to see all regulars here. And, let's get into this. So great to have Luke back. As we always do for first-time guests, which you are, Bomber. We're going to go just real quickly through your gaming history and talk a little bit about what you got in. Nope, that's backwards. What got you into gaming and when you first got started? So let's hear it, man.
Let's see. I mean, I'm not too old, not too young, but basically my first gaming console was the NES. It's the first one my parents and everybody bought. So that's what I grew up with. But, of course, my uncle was big on computers, worked on them. He used to work on supercomputers back in the day. So he got me into PC gaming when, Asteroid and Tank Wars was a thing.
Nice.
Off the floppy disk, back in those days. So, loved it then. Of course, then from the NES, I mean, you name it, everything from Zelda, Mario, of course. Then my Sega Genesis days, that was legit. That was nothing else compared until the N64 came out, and then it was kind of like between those two for me.
Okay.
For the longest, and then of course pretty much every other console that's came out. The only one I never got was the Sega Dreamcast, because at that time my parents wouldn't buy it. I mean, I hate to say it, I was in 7th grade when it came out, so my parents were not paying for that.
Okay. But, you're definitely making Dan and I feel our age, so there you go. It happens. So that's awesome, man. So real quick before one other thing here is Lucky Paul, appreciate the $1 super chat. You actually hit us with a super chat with no comment before we even went live. So that's awesome. Thank you for that. If I can get that to go away, that would be good. All right, guys. So Bomber, what would you say is your favorite gaming franchise of all time?
Franchise? It's
single game.
Split. It's definitely a franchise. It's going to be between two, and it's between Diablo and Assassin's Creed. I've owned all of them. Every last Assassin's Creed, every last Diablo, which is only 3, I know, but still.
They take a while to come out, those.
Yeah, they do.
And each of them hit like 48 different consoles at a time.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Assassin's Creed's kind of just been regardless when it comes out, I'm buying it. It's just, I don't know why. I know it's not like game breaking, or what is it? Or not game breaking, but
it's that comfort food, man. That's what
it is. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's it's exactly what it is. It's just
the same way.
Thank you, it's the meat and potatoes. Like, I don't know what it is. Like it's just it is.
You know what you're gonna get, like Dan
Yeah.
said, it's comfort food, and it's a good experience. And hell, I mean, they're still getting better, so it's not like it's not like the franchise is getting any worse.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. What was it? Yves Gamal said, as long as people are still buying them, we're going to still make them. And when that tapered, they adjusted their strategy with Odyssey and Origins, and they're still delivering quality games. I mean, I don't think anybody should. Dude, that's an awesome franchise there. Ups and downs, they're giving you quality games, and it's comfort food, as you said. That's awesome.
Yeah. And Valhalla, I mean, I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan. I've loved the last two because I like the RPG style a little more. Valhalla, man, I'm all over. It looks absolutely incredible.
Dude, being a Viking and being able to chop people's heads off and limbs off, that's it.
I was going to say, you're growing your beard just for that game, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Well, what about the Vikings appeals to you?
I guess the whole killing and slaughtering,
slaughtering families,
whatever. Actually building up my clan. That's the thing. That's actually going to be pretty cool, though. I think that's going to be cool. The sieging. I don't know. It's Assassin's Creed again, but the downside to Assassin's Creed is that they just put an Assassin's Creed as to sell the games, because you're really not an assassin anymore, and you're not in the Assassin's Creed, so it's kind of weird. Like it's not like it used to be. But then again, they tied. I don't know how they're going to tie it in with this one, but it's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm still going to play the heck out of it.
Well, they got the hidden blade back, right? They made a point. They made a point of having that back. So it'd be cool if they have like an assassin skill tree that you can build into or something like that. Yeah, it'd be awesome. So that's cool, though. I don't think we asked a lot of people those questions. I don't think we've had either Diablo or Assassin's Creed as top. So that's awesome. All right, and then what's your favorite platform of all time? Single console or PC? If you have one.
I'm gonna throw. I mean, PC's definitely it was my overall. I mean, it was the most thing I ever put money into, especially with WoW, paying for it for 10 years. I mean, I know that's a game, but I mean, I made sure I built my PC at that time for it 10 years ago, and so and I still use it. That's sad, but yeah, I mean, PC kind of there, but really. The Xbox ecosystem has been my thing. I mean, a lot of my friends are always on there. I mean, I love PlayStation 2, so I mean, I can't say I don't like either one. It's just I do play the Xbox more, but overall PC has been my favorite. I just wish I can afford to upgrade all the time.
Gotcha.
Eventually.
Oh, it's pricey. Yeah, it's pricey. So you're saying your PC slowly turned into a potato?
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm rocking the i7 920. I mean, come on.
All right. Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
That's awesome. So, okay, great. We got Alden in the chat with the super chat, wherever he is, if I can find it. There we go. Alden, good to see you, man. Not the first time I've thrown a couple ones at Dan. I think Dan felt those two singles hit him right in the ball.
Yeah. Right in the, It will not be the last time either. I know all of it.
That's awesome. All right, guys, let's get into the biggest story of the week. And, I know that if nothing else, Luke and I are incredibly passionate about this one. So Halo Infinite has been delayed. And obviously goes without saying, I think, that this was kind of cornerstone to Microsoft and Xbox's plan for the fall. I mean, they announced it last E3, right? Over a year ago, they announced that the system would launch with Halo. Obviously, COVID's thrown a wrench into a lot of game development plans in general. But this is a really big hit for them because it was no doubt the biggest game of the fall. It was exclusive. It's going to be a huge audience on PC and Xbox. We've talked about all this, right? It was going to have a massive, massive impact. So for now, the system to launch without it, and for us not even to have a new date. If you notice, they only said 2021. They didn't give a new date. It could be a long time until, we actually see this game, which is, it's fine, right? Make the game. We're very much proponents of make the best game possible. So if they need more time, take your time. But what I want to talk about is a couple things, right? So what does this mean for the Series X at launch? How big of an impact do you guys think this has on actual console sales, which I know Xbox shies away from a little more now, but matter of fact, right? There were people going to buy a Series X to play the new Halo on, without a doubt. Hell, I had old friends text me I haven't talked to in years that were asking when the new Xbox comes out so they can get Halo. And then knowing that, what do you think they do to try and overcome that now big gap that they have? So anyone can go first. Who wants to jump on?
This is more your speed, Luke, so go right ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is no doubt whatsoever that this is a huge blow to the Xbox Series X and the Xbox brand. It is not the doomsday scenario per se, because there are a lot of factors that are going into how the Series X is going to be launched. You can look at pricing structures, the pillars on which they're building Xbox as a platform. You have Game Pass, you have hardware, you have xCloud. Those three things are meant to drive the brand forward. And hardware is going forward going to be the least important of those pillars. But for now, it is hugely important. And whenever you have a new box, you want a new shiny to go along with that. They are now lacking that from their first party. The Xbox Game Studios has put out 5 products, or will have put out 5 products in the last month and a half or so, between Grounded, Flight Simulator, what is the next one?
Battletoads, Tell Me Why.
And then Wasteland 3.
Yes.
And as amazing as that is to say, none of those are the name that will bring the casual fan in that the casuals are. The people that listen to shows like this, they are likely they've already decided which product they're getting, and they're likely to buy both in many cases. But those aren't the ones that you market to. 110 million PlayStation 4s sold versus 50 million Xbox Ones. That's a big difference, and that difference is largely the casual market. Lacking Halo Infinite at launch will be a big hit to the marketability of the Xbox Series X, and they're going to have to default back to Game Pass and upscaled versions of games that are already out there, and they'll have to ride that wave. I think it's the right decision. If you watch my reactions with Mr. Badbit like on his YouTube channel, I am all in on Halo Infinite. That game looks pure fun, but you don't bring people in on that alone. It needs to look and play the part of a next gen game if you're going to do that. My hope is that they ditch the backward compatibility to the launch Xbox One, that VCR. I think that holds back a lot of what they wanted to do. How do you market a next gen system on something that plays on 2012 tech? Because the system launched in 2013, so that's hardware that was built. And there's a lot of inherent difficulties with that. It is a good thing. It absolutely hurts. It hurts in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's the end game per se for Microsoft because of the infrastructure they've set up. But they're definitely going to suffer units sold after that first shipment of hardcore that we're going to buy it anyway.
All very fair points. All very fair points. Bomber, let me go to you after this super chat we just got from one of our very close friends of the show, Fastback. Always look forward to Bitcast every Saturday for the best nicknames. Dan's usually got that on lockdown. And to hear Dan's spiciness, good to see Bomber and InsipidGhost. Thank you very much. And, of course, we'll shout out to Next Level Gaming Show every Thursday night with our friends Mike, Chris, and HTK. So thank you for that, Chris. Appreciate it. Bomber, where are you at on this, man? I know Luke made... very, very valid points. You kind of covered all aspects there.
No kidding. I mean, I don't know how to follow that because probably everybody's going to start shaming me or whatever. But Halo was never any reason for me to ever buy an Xbox.
Damn it.
Yeah, it never was.
Dan, did you invite him?
I get shit talked on my podcast too because I say it every time. But Halo, it's a good game. I'm not going to downplay that it's not good. It's just first-person shooters, just typically, and this is Far Cry, this is a lot of the first-person games I don't typically, I guess, get drawn into as much.
Okay.
And I just never, I like the multiplayer, but I just suck at it. That's why I don't like it. So that's the main thing is I suck at it. That's why I don't like it. But this does hurt. I mean, absolutely. And I feel for all the diehard people that are, really honestly hurt that this game is not coming out, but it apparently needs some TLC. And then they started talking about how they were going to release it in steps. Like they were going to release multiplayer, then the campaign, then whatever else they were going to, to me, that was just going to be terrible. I
Yeah,
think
I'm glad they decided against that.
That's my personal opinion. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, just bring out the multiplayer because that's what everybody wants to play. I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot. The main hardcore wants to play that campaign first, which I want to just because it's co-op and why not? And
there's a lot of story elements they're piecing together here too after 5 and some of the other things that have happened. So I'm a huge fan of the whole package, of course. So someone's going to cut that out. That's a horrible statement to make, but but yeah, I agree with you. I think them trying to release it in separate segments like that would have been a mistake.
Absolutely.
By the way, Matt has called you out in chat and said he's booing you for not liking FPS games.
It's not that I don't like FPS games. I mean, because Call of Duty is still one of my favorite FPSs, but that's just because I love the multiplayer. But I don't know. Like, Halo just has that. Just I never cared for the whole shield thing. I was just like, this is just trash. But yet, a shotgun can kill you in one shot, but I don't know. I just suck at it. I mean, it's just plain and simple. I suck at Halo multiplayer, so it's fine.
There's a big difference in your Call of Duty time to kill. Your TTK there is so fast compared to a Halo. It makes sense. But you're the exact person that Microsoft needs to flip and sell with Halo Infinite if they're to regain their traction. So you are a wonderful case study for why they needed to delay it, because if it wasn't going to bring in players like yourself for one reason or another, then they were going to miss the boat. That's why the free-to-play aspect existed. They needed more people into their ecosystem. That's why they were adjusting so many things. That's why the art style is what it is. That is a more accepting art style to the younger kids. They tried hyper-realistic Halo. It didn't land. It repeatedly twice did not land. You're the exact guy that they needed to buy in on this. And if it wasn't going to, it's a good thing they delayed it.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like when I saw the trailer from day one when they showed it on their showcase, honestly, I liked the look of it until the pop-in happened, and then I was like, yeah. But it looked good. I mean, it reminded me of the first one, and that's actually a good thing because I love the first one. I will say that. Love the first one.
The design of the game is very clean.
Yes. Yeah. So say what you wish. Anybody that's out there that, keeps on saying it just looks like garbage. No, it looked good. It just, there's some things it definitely needs, but
yeah. I mean, there's people out there wearing shirts of Craig. It's just ridiculous.
Dude, and I'm so happy Microsoft is like taking it on.
Yeah, you got to just run with it, right? Mm-hmm. So, and Dan is running with it full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So here we go. First off,
crying in your cereal about Halo being delayed?
I don't give a crap about whether or not it gets delayed. First of all, and nobody else really should either. I mean, I guess you could be upset.
Whoa.
And you should be. I mean, to a certain extent, because that's a huge game for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't care as much as it's FPS as I'm with Bomber here. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games at all. So the multiplayer, which is 100% free, by the way, and probably still going to be. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. So, but as far as like a launch, it's super weird to me not to go in and, get these new, and this is for both systems, this new hardware and not have really that much new software.
Like that big, like Luke said, that shiny big game you want to play on the new system, right?
I don't want to hear about, but your whole library. I don't give a crap. I can play my library now. That's not what I want from next gen. I want next gen. I don't want, to play Far Cry 5 again for the second time, which I'm doing right now, or, something else. I can do that now. I've always said, give me a reason to upgrade. Halo probably wasn't going to be that reason regardless, but I would have played it, and I was excited for the single player campaign. And I was excited to kind of get into it. But it's a huge blow, but at the same time, I look across the pond and I'm, there's not much coming from Sony either. So, and we've got Cyberpunk and Valhalla coming out and all these other games, and so it's not great for gamers. Maybe in the end game it is, maybe at, when it finally releases in a better state, maybe that's going to be better. But really, I need something to, for Microsoft, like Luke said, they're not pushing the hardware. I just got, I probably played more xCloud this week than I have, since it's come out.
Okay. With the new beta app they came out with. Running well?
Well, yeah, I got that Kishi, the Razer Kishi. And
yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, Dan, I pre-ordered that.
Yeah.
From Amazon. It's a pre-order at Amazon. Is that because they're sold out? And I'm asking out of ignorance. Is that because they're sold out, or is it a specific Xbox version?
Kishi has been sold out for a while. They finally got it back in, from what I've heard from a lot of people. And so every time they put it on Amazon, they just put it as pre-order instead of just. I guess
that's probably the case. It's like $20 more if you get it off of Razer's site.
Yeah,
which is what I did. I was just like, I'm not
really.
Yeah.
Hey, see, that's the anti-consumerism right there. You want it, pay more.
I think, that's fine. But I played quite a bit of it, so I mean, I can see, and the tech is getting there. It's not there yet, and that's a combination of things. It's not, 100% on. Microsoft at all. It also, you got your limits with your internets and your
internets,
all your internets,
all your internets, and God, I went old man there for a second.
Interwebs.
Yeah, you and your internets, damn kids. No, it's really cool. I mean, and for the most part, it works, and but you still want to sell that hardware, obviously. Yeah. We still don't know a price. We can't even pre-order right now, so who the hell knows what's going to happen. But, I mean, huge blow, I think, more for the community, the Halo community, than it is for Microsoft, I think, in the end. So, but, I mean,
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't have to ask around here, man. Just speak.
The community aspect, that's the one that hurt the most. I know Ains and I were talking prior to the announcement of the cancellation, just about goofy stuff about being excited. I mean, I read all the books for Halo, and I have pre-ordered the Mythos thing, and I have just behind me and it's because of Ains, the Mega Bloks sword.
Which I got for free, by the way.
Oh, I don't even.
That's right.
But that was the part that hurt the most. Was the community aspect, because I was just looking forward to playing Halo and being in that universe again. Yeah. The game looked fun. The next gen argument is totally valid. It's right that they delayed it. Nobody should be suffering through in this year or any other trying to make something work. Now they've got time to polish. They can fix ray tracing, whatever it is they need to do to make their game. But that was the part that hurt emotionally. And anybody that was hyped for Cyberpunk felt this. Last of Us felt this. God of War did this 48 times, if you watch that documentary. And the hope is that they have a Last of Us or God of War on their hands next holiday with this. Because that community, exactly, and that community deserves to have the same types of celebrations. Hopefully they land it, but it did suck. It does suck. I'm sad about it. At the same time, go for it. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's just a quick observation because I've seen it. I didn't know about it, but it's the 20th anniversary is next year.
It is November 15th.
Maybe they pushing it then. Then you get your custom green Halo system, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll get another 500 coming. Yep.
So I saw a lot of people commenting on that too, and I was like, if they do it, they do it. What have you? I personally don't see them waiting a whole year to release Halo. Not if they can have it ready in 4 months or whatever, whatever time they need. If it results in a much bigger, better product, they'll do it. But you don't want to go a whole year if you don't have to without your keystone franchise. I think what they do, this is just opinion, I'm hoping they release in spring, say April, right? With all the bugs worked out and features, et cetera. And then they do a huge event for the 20th anniversary in November, especially knowing that the multiplayer suite's going to be free. And of course, they're launching on PC and Xbox simultaneously this time. So it could be a massive, massive event next November, which I'm sure they're going to do.
Follow-up question then, Ains.
Yeah.
If it's possible what you're saying is correct, I just don't see it as likely for them to bump 4 months to address whatever concerns they found, because either it was Aaron Greenberg's fault, Microsoft PR's fault, or 343's communication to their fault. Somehow, some way, they got out to the Xbox gaming and public community that this game is going to be ready. We're going to talk about Halo. It's going to be ready for this holiday. We're ready. And then a week after that messaging, it's not.
Yeah.
So did they find a big problem? What was it they felt they needed to refine? I don't know that gets fixed in that amount of time if they're trying to address all the community concerns from the demo, pop in or otherwise. I don't know that April is the right. I think you wait longer. I think you wait longer for it to look that good, unless you're racing against a big Sony slate, which, from all intents and purposes, we don't think they have until 2022 even.
Yep,
so
that's true.
That's the other aspect of that.
No, I think that's perfectly valid. In fact, I think the most confusing thing, and by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but the Monster Energy promotion starts September 1st to start banking XP for Halo Infinite. Like, it's literally going forward. You can still buy stuff in the stores right now with Halo Infinite on it. But yeah, I think the most confusing aspect of this is exactly what you said. How do you only have a week gap between when you're talking about Halo, communicating about Halo's launch, talking about what it's going to be, feature set, all this, and then just a week later say it's delayed? That doesn't make any sense to me. No. There's a gap in communication internally there, which there shouldn't be. So, I'm with you. I fully, if you think November launch to April would be 6 months, and 6 months is decent dev time, but for a game of that scope, given the circumstances, obviously, a year's a lot better. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm fine either way. Like you said, I don't think outside of Halo, we don't have a AAA kind of big budget exclusive on either platform, at least until Halo launches, because Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West is the only one that's going to be the first one for Sony of their big blockbuster studios. And that's only targeting 2021, which 100% means 2022. So the chances of that releasing next fall are slim, in my opinion, unless they push it, especially with COVID. So you're right. I think it could be next November, and I think Xbox may still be in a good position from an exclusive standpoint, even if they push it a year.
Yeah.
Meh.
$5 pump.
It's an important game for that. It's an important game for Xbox. But I mean, plenty of Dan's out there, and I respect wholeheartedly. If it's not for you guys, it's kind of like saying it's their God of War-esque thing. Like, I wasn't into God of War, but they needed it for that platform, and that's the big thing.
Well, God of War is like, and I talked about this on a different episode, Luke, but God of War, to your point, it creates that community and kind of love for the brand, right? Halo's opportunity, they not only have the opportunity to do that, but because it's Xbox and PC and the multiplayer suite is free to play, the opportunity for this from a market perspective is absolutely sky high. Warzone is a perfect example, right? Yep. There's over 60 million people playing Warzone. 60 million people playing Warzone. Activision came out and announced that just Call of Duty for the first quarter, was it, Dan? Or last 6 months? It was either quarter or 6 months.
I'm pretty sure it was quarter.
Yeah.
I think it was quarter as well. Yeah. 1.2 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a quarter.
Yeah.
And the majority of that, as you know, Modern Warfare sold extremely well. But the majority of that is coming from Warzone, and because it's so widespread and there's so many people playing it. So imagine, to your point, Luke, if they do take the time, it delivers like we hope it delivers, of course. And you have not only the community aspect and the Halo diehards like us, but you pull in people like Bomber and Dan and that massive PC/Xbox wider community. I mean, you're talking about not only a true kind of lift for the Xbox brand, but financially it's gonna make billions of dollars.
And their whole strategy has been built around that. They've set up smart delivery. They open their platform to the PC space. Steam's doing gangbuster numbers on multiple Xbox Game Studios titles. They're publishing very well in other places. It is pivotal. It's just absolutely huge that they continue to access that Steam community. For Halo, Forge PC communities will build in that arena, and free to play is the name of the game for getting people in and making money, and it makes sense given their subscription service as well. It can't be understated Halo's importance this time, whereas Halo 5, no, you could not nearly as important.
It's true,
and that's
true.
It's interesting to watch for anything else.
Yeah, and it's interesting and almost nerve-wracking, right? Because I know you and I are both such huge Halo fans. It's like, God, you got to hit this. It's like watching your favorite sports team or athlete or whatever, and they're in the championship game, and you know they have to deliver, and you're just sitting there nervous as hell, hoping they deliver.
Meanwhile, the manager, Aaron, and all them are talking about this game nonstop, about how we're gonna wreck and do this. It's like, oh, dude, just stop.
All right, we've got Mr. Pompa is back with his $5 foot-long donation. Guys, with Halo being free to play and now with the delay, this is giving Xbox more time to push the whole making live free. You guys are awesome. So he's referring to, I believe anyway, like Xbox Live in general, because the rumor, of course, is that, with the push to Game Pass Ultimate with xCloud making standard multiplayer free to play on Xbox rather than requiring Xbox Live Gold. What do you guys think? You think they're still going to push on that?
For me, it's one of those hard things because the whole gotcha into Game Pass is that it's $15. You get Game Pass, like say the Ultimate, you get Game Pass on PC, Game Pass on your Xbox, and you get Xbox Live. So you're getting value there. Well, when you take a part of value out that used to cost, now it doesn't cost. Does that mean Ultimate goes down, or does it keep the same price because they added xCloud? So it's kind of like that weird thing. I personally believe yes, Xbox Live go away, PS Plus go away, but the problem is Microsoft makes a killing off of just Xbox Live customers, and PlayStation, of course, just showed they make quite a bit of money as well.
Yeah, they both do.
Off of their 50 million subscribers. So I mean, it's huge. So I feel like they can or they will. It's not anytime soon. I know everybody saw the 12-month thing, the subscription you can't buy anymore unless you go buy it at Walmart or something. But yeah, I see it happening because I mean, the sad thing is they're putting, Xbox with PC. It's all together now, and PC doesn't have to pay for it. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. Man, I didn't think we were going to be on this topic that long. That was good. So let's go ahead, Dan.
Well, the only thing I was going to say is, you could I don't understand why it would be so difficult just to make free-to-play games free to play. That's really that'd be the easiest thing to do. You can keep live. I don't care.
That's true. We've
all got it till 2027 or something like that now. So it doesn't, it's that's what Sony does. They still charge for your, the multiplayer part of the game, to have PS Plus, and then just make Fortnite and Warzone and stuff like that. Just, get rid of the paywall for that, and just keep it at $15. Say it's part of Xbox Live. Maybe I don't know anything about how tech works.
Well,
it is what it is.
It's the same argument that you see Remedy running into right now, where they're charging for their Ultimate. But stick with me on the logic here. The argument is: do you make a little money up front again, or do you make more money by letting more people access it? And what's the benefit and the cost analysis there? And I think that's the big thing when you have paywalls like that. And everything that Microsoft is doing suggests they would remove that paywall to access the bigger potential market. And it will be really interesting to have this conversation in a year or 2 years, because they're clearly phasing this out. They may not be saying it, but they set up where we are right now. They set this up 4 years ago with Game Pass. Remember, Game Pass didn't have a lot on it that was big. Well, right now you can play The Witcher and all the Arkham games, all the first-party slate. Those are big deals. And I think it takes time to watch those enact. But I don't think we'll be having Xbox Live Gold 2 to 3 years from now in nearly the same perpetuity that we have at the moment.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree entirely. And then to your point about running that analysis, they've done that probably 50 times over, right? They know exactly what they're making from both angles and what the impact to the community is and all of these things. So, yeah, I definitely get it. But it's kind of funny, we went from talking about the impact that Halo is going to have on a free-to-play market, And the first, thing you mentioned here, Dan, is just make the free-to-play games not require gold, because that's usually the argument, right? Is why can't I play Fortnite? Why can't I play Warzone? Why can't I play Roblox? All those games without this Xbox Live Gold, and Halo would fall into that bucket in theory, right?
Yeah, or just, if that's the case, just put it into Game Pass instead of making it free to play. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. If you want to make money off of it, just, okay, this is all going to be free to play. Halo is in Game Pass, multiplayer included, single player campaign, whatever it is. And then you can get them off of that, But if you're going to, or you just make it free to play, then you're going to still charge people $10 to play the game every month. The hell's the difference? If you want
Halo being in Game Pass is really all about getting access to the campaign. That's what you're getting for free
right now. But what I'm saying is, why not just put multiplayer in it as well instead of just keeping it out there? If you want to make money,
because you don't hit that audience.
Yeah, you're no longer saying it's free to play. It's behind a subscription paywall in order to play the game.
So you've got 12 or 13 million Game Pass subscribers, 14 million, whatever the number is right now, right? In that ballpark. Yeah. Whereas if you're free to play fully for Xbox and PC, you're open up to tens and tens and tens of millions of people.
But you still need Xbox Live.
No.
So you're still paying $10.
Well,
that's the argument.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying if they were going to keep gold, why not just push it to Xbox? I got you.
Right. Yeah, that way, not only that, but it's in essence, you're not only getting Halo, you're also getting everything else.
Yeah. I got you.
You can offer not a parallel, but a similar aspect of let people choose, like remove that particular paywall. But look at the Steam charts. 4 of the top 10 are Xbox Game Studio games.
Crazy.
And those people could easily play via Game Pass, and they're buying these games. So giving, maybe there is something to be said for removing certain aspects of the paywall, but still allowing those to have it that want it.
Yeah,
I don't need Live Gold anymore, personally, given Game Pass's quality now.
Yeah.
So there's an argument, a thought process there that analysts have looked at because they have the insider knowledge, I suppose, but I don't see a need for Live Gold in the way that it exists. And I like Dan's idea. Just move it. Just get it away from PC platforms. But then you open a discussion up for, well, why do you want it here and not there? And there's always a line.
Yep.
How many teams run through the playoffs? It's always that.
Options are great until it gets completely overwhelmed with too many options. And it's like, well, okay, I can play it over here on the PC. I can pay $60 for it, or I can go buy Game Pass. And then I get it, but it's actually free, so I don't actually need to pay for it, if I'm playing on my PC. But then if I go over to Xbox, I'm paying $10 a month for gold to play it for free, which literally doesn't make any sense. Because like what I just said doesn't make sense. So, or I just buy Game Pass and I have it on both systems. There's so much.
And think, right, all of us in the community listening here, we're all hardcore gamers. Right? Yeah. Your average Joe who just says, oh, there's a new Halo game, I'm going to go play that. And you'll be like, well, you can download the campaign if you have Game Pass, or you can buy it, or you can play multiplayer, but you need gold or maybe Game Pass Ultimate, but not normal Game Pass, because normal Game Pass doesn't include Game Pass or gold. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Yeah, they got to clean it up. They
definitely do. Absolutely.
I think it's a completely different point, Luke, that you made about, valid point, very on Steam. Like, that's the power of ecosystem.
Oh, dude!
People have their library on Steam, and they want to own their games on Steam. That's it.
And it was the smartest decision. And maybe they're seeing some wealth from that. Like because clearly, like Luke said, they're in the top 5 games. 4 of them are the Xbox Game Studio. So it's like you take that. That's a lot of sales apparently. So maybe that's helping them get rid of that paywall for Xbox as global, since that is their brand is Xbox. It's not just Xbox the console. So now Xbox all the way around, you don't pay to play online. You just pay to have certain games like a subscription service. So
Yep. And as you said, they're running the numbers as we speak many times over. So real quick, because I didn't think we were going to stay on this one so long, but we were talking about launch lineups, and launch lineups, what we know right now, which is kind of crazy, right? Because we're in the middle of August. And what we know right now, confirmed for both the Series X and the PlayStation 5 is really, really slim pickings. Obviously, you're going to get the best version depending on the ecosystem you want to be in. You'll get the better version of Valhalla and Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs and all these major third-party games. But in terms of like games that are exclusive, the only ones I could find that are actually people the developer has said they'll be there at launch is Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is Xbox side. Scorn is supposedly going to be there at launch, and Falconeer, which is that kind of combat multiplayer bird game, if you've seen. That's it. They said maybe Gears Tactics, right, for launch. But, you know, I was as early as yesterday talking about the Medium being a launch game. If you look, it's not confirmed for launch. Some places say December, some places say January. On PS5, you have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, which I think now with Halo gone is probably the biggest game for the fall in terms of, you know, platform. You've got Godfall, which is not looking too good. And you've got Bug Snacks.
Yes. That's the sleeper.
Boom!
That is the sleeper of the fall.
I want a collector's edition with a plush like strawberry, like just a big ass strawberry with a face on. It'd be awesome. And then Astro's Playroom, which is just a demo. It's just a demo for the DualSense controller. That's it.
And that comes with the PS5.
And that comes with the PS5. That's all that's confirmed as launch titles for these systems as we talk today, which is kind of hilarious when you think about it. It's trash.
Well, I don't think you would get a launch title for Xbox by that definition because of their smart delivery methodology. I think that's the muddied water. And you mentioned it when you introduced the topic, but you're not going to get one for the Xbox platform. And even PlayStation's not ready. Even looking at what Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be, $600 for an expansion. And I don't say that word with any derogatory sense. I'm all in on Miles Morales. I love Spider-Man PS4. More Spider-Man is great. And that game, the screenshots they're showing us look wonderful. Yep. But as with any launch of a system, they're going to have launch-esque titles. And the smart delivery muddles that water. We're going to get Cyberpunk when we get it, and it'll upscale when they're ready for it too. It'll upscale on the system, and then they'll have a Series X version. It's a strange and different conversation than we were able to even have in 2013. And that's the big kicker. The new shiny isn't really the new shiny in the same way at the moment. And this is something that PC gaming has been doing for a long time. They just look at the game and they play the game. And you can make an argument that's a good thing. But I mean, if you're playing on xCloud, if you've got the Kishi and you've only got xCloud and you're a 12, 13-year-old kid and you don't have a system, your family doesn't have it, they bought you a phone instead, that's a new market or a different way to approach it. But the launch lineups are odd. But what is an Xbox Series X game now? What is that? And that's the muddied water there.
Agree.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Bug Snacks, man.
Yeah, I mean, of course I'm buying that in Spider-Man, obviously. Gears Tactics, you know, I can play it on a PC, but I'd rather play it on the Xbox. You know, it's one of those where it's just that's
a good game.
Console gamer. Yeah, it's not from what I've played with it so far. It's fantastic. It's just weird. I mean, it's weird going into, like I said, a new generation and just not having, you know, like Luke said, that new shiny and that thing that's gonna, you know, go, hey, what is this? But you know, Xbox is going a different direction. But you know, PlayStation, Spider-Man's going to sell like crazy. You know, you're going to launch a system with, regardless of what, you know, how big the game is, it's going to sell like.
Oh, that's absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to be it. You know, you also have, you know, I hate, you know, FIFA and, you know, Madden will be out and people are going to be wanting to play those, you know, the NBA games that I don't play. I mean, those are going to be your system sellers. You know, we've got that Call of Duty thing that I don't know what it's supposed to be. Probably some kind of Black Ops remaster.
Cold War.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, come up with the original.
It's probably going to be Campaign and Zombies. Warzone staying as the, you know.
Yeah, and that's really what the PlayStation needs. It needs those third-party games, but, you know, so does Series X. I don't know, man. I mean, this is like the least excited I've been from a game point of view going to the next gen. Yeah, I'm excited for the tech. I really want to see what it can do. that's what has me excited. And I have a TV that can handle 4K 60, and I don't want to have to upgrade yet. So it'll be nice to that these developers aren't going that far. So
question,
yeah.
Dan, because you said this is your least excited. I because I'm a big dork and I like to write things down. And I wrote down 15 games that I'm excited for on various levels, indie to AAA, right, for this fall. A lot of them are smart delivery or they're live service type games, like Avengers. I don't know whether I get 15 hours or 60. I'm stoked on that. The idea of a Series X or a PlayStation 5 to me makes that game more appealing than it would be before. So when you say you're not excited about the games, do you just mean the we get Miles Morales because the others will smart deliver? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, like, okay, so let's take Cyberpunk when it was, delayed until then. I was super mad. I mean, it was ridiculous how angry I was. It was, I don't know why, but I was mad, because I wanted to play that game. So, I also bought a, Cyberpunk console. So there's that I'll never be able to play it on, which is awesome. But I could.
Yeah, but it's a cool console.
Yeah, it's an awesome console, but I'm going to sell it immediately. As soon as
what?
I mean,
anyway.
Stuff. I mean, I just wanted to look at it for a few months, apparently. So, but really what it is, with a smart delivery, that you're basically going to have that upgraded stuff, but with Cyberpunk, you're not getting it until probably next year, right? You're going to have something at launch. They said, I think, just some upgrades, nothing where it's going to go 4K or 8K to 120.
No, because the hardware is natively going to run the game better, is what they're saying.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I upgraded to the Series X, or not the Series X, the X. God,
the other X.
The other X. When it came out, day one, Scorpio. And because I want the best stuff, obviously. I want to play the games. I don't care if it's PlayStation. I don't care if it's Xbox. I want to play where it's going to be the best, game. I'm not super excited about like the tech, or I'm more excited about the tech than I am the games, because the games, I can play right now if I wanted to. So it's the definition of generation is so much different between these two companies, and we're starting to see that now, and it's fun to watch them, kind of go two different directions. But aside from, I think, really on this list, Spider-Man, nothing to me really jumps out, and that's just because I'm a huge Spider-Man honk. Nothing to me says, oh yeah, I got to get this for next gen. That's really the only game that says I need to get it. But I'm for sure getting both of them, and I'm super pumped with Cyberpunk, Valhalla. I want to see do we know if those are coming out? Valhalla, are they getting the free upgrade immediately on release?
That's what they've said.
Okay.
Yeah. Same with Watch Dogs, right? Like they
Yeah.
mentioned, Watch Dogs is getting the ray tracing and update for launch too, which has me excited.
Yeah, that's super cool, and that, but it's just not, that same generational leap anymore that we are typically used to in a console space. With the PC space, it's just a matter of upgrading and getting better, your better graphics card, more memory, or a better CPU. So it's a different ball game, I think, completely. And I don't PC game anyway, so I've always been a console gamer, and I think going into this gen, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a lack of new, and that's what it is. But I'm definitely going to have the new tech regardless. Probably 15 other controllers, whatever they release.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it's not that you're not excited, because I've heard you say, and I agree with you. I think we all do agree. Like I've heard you say many times, you want it where it's going to play best. So to Luke's point, these games are going to play best on next gen hardware. There's a big upgrade from a hardware perspective. But your point is, for decades now, we've had like, okay, here's the next generation, and here's the 5 new titles or whatever that are only playable on next gen, and it's just a different market nowadays.
Yeah, I'm curious, seeing what the actual, to my eye, is it going to be that big of a difference playing on, the Series X versus the current X? Is it going to be where I go, oh, that is a humongous change? You know, I have no idea yet. I haven't seen anything really from anybody to say
Oh no!
oh, there it
that,
is. You know, that's the game I really need to see.
And that's the problem, because we don't know. We don't know what these companies are actually saying they're making it next gen version. Like, we don't know. We don't know what they're adding, how much effort they're actually putting into it. I mean, I feel like CD Projekt Red is probably doing the best. Even, I mean, I'd even say compared to Ubisoft, because I think Ubisoft's they're gonna add some things, but I don't think it's gonna be where it's leap and bounds. Like, oh my gosh, it's way better than the current gen.
Yeah.
But just like Dan said, though, the hardware is what does entice me, because playing certain games, load times, like that's gonna, just being able to load in. And this is even for like my daughter, and I even think about it, like when she's playing my old 2013 day one Xbox One, and she's trying to get into Minecraft, and it takes her like 10 minutes to load the stupid game to the menu. Like, it's terrible. So, like, to know that, you know, whatever, it's the Series X or the maybe Lockhart, whatever, come out and it loads pretty much just like that, then that portion does get me. I love back combat, because I don't complete games, and I love playing. Crap, I started playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate because I never got to play it. I bought it, played a little bit, then new Shiny came out and I played it. So, like, I kept pushing it back. So that's what I do like. And then, you know, if they do get enhanced, whatever, that's the fun part. But it is kind of where to be super excited this gen is kind of hard, because of this, like we've talked about, like, the smart delivery, or whoever, like EA's words for it. I can't remember what they said, but
expensive delivery.
Yeah,
No,
like
no.
time delivery. But yeah, like it's just it's not as super exciting to just know, like, oh my gosh, I have to have this system now. I mean, PlayStation's kind of doing that, because that's kind of like what Dan said, is they're making sure that, yes, we believe in generations, and Xbox say, yeah, we do too, but we're like the PC side, and that's kind of like, that's that fighting battle, is they're trying to battle, kind of sticking it like, we are Windows, we are Microsoft, so we're PC, and we're trying to migrate our Xbox console to PC, and that's kind of like why they're doing it. Just like Luke said, you know, that, you know, with all this smart delivery, it's kind of made it that muddy water kind of thing. You know, it's just, yeah, you're going to get that version eventually. Like, you know, whenever we decide to bring it out, kind of like CD Projekt Red, you know, they didn't say it's coming out on launch as far as their version, so you may wait until April of next year before that comes out. So and that kind of stinks, because it's like, do I go ahead and just play it? Absolutely, because that's my number one game. I don't care.
Well, you said the word enhanced, which kicked me back to the fact that we've seen Microsoft try this once and work on their messaging as they did the enhanced for X. When the One X came out, enhanced for X patches were constantly in the news. Yep. I don't know that they worked at selling any games. I don't know if the sales went up because of something got an enhanced for X patch, but it was, in hindsight, I believe, meant to familiarize the gamer, the console gamer specifically, with that idea that it will scale with your hardware. Yeah, something that PC gamers understood. But I think that's the good and the bad of this, is that PlayStation 4 Pro did not have that messaging. Like, it just didn't have that. Xbox One X did, and Enhanced for X did let some of the hardcore people go back and try 360 games and remind them to go, oh, check out this game. Like, you tried Syndicate. Like, there's a cool aspect of that. But did it sell a lot of games? I don't know that it will. And I think that's actually a great precedent for why I don't think Series X is going to light the market on fire in any way, shape, or form compared to the Series S, which is all but confirmed. And I recognize it's not fully announced yet. But, I mean, price is going to be a big factor there too. But the premium top patch, the top upscale, I don't think moves units the way that it might if it were a different generation.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm 100% with you guys. I think that's a tough battle. I don't even know if you're in charge, I don't even know how you market towards that, right? Because that's just
Right.
not a selling point. And the casual market, as you already pointed out, Luke, which is the biggest market by far, we are the minority by a long shot. The casual market they don't get excited for that kind of stuff.
Nope.
So yeah, it's always a challenge. And I think that's why, we're continuing to stay on this, but it's good discussion. I think that's why, it's almost nice to see that the gaming industry is so big nowadays that you have three companies like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox that are taking three completely different approaches for the most part on how they're approaching the market, but they're all just making billions and billions of dollars. And I think that's fine. I think the market's big enough to do that. There's not this, a lot of people, well, maybe the ones who are less well versed on this stuff have this thing in their head that it's a PlayStation or Xbox market, and that's just not the case.
No.
So there's plenty of room for both, but they are very different approaches. But even with PlayStation taking the approach of generational lines still, right, a little more kind of traditional approach, there's still not a whole bunch. They're still not outside of Spider-Man, which, as you said, is more. It's they've said it's akin to Lost Legacy, right? Uncharted. So it's not even though it's their tentpole title, it's not a huge, big budget AAA tentpole title per se. So even in that vein, they're not delivering a whole lot at launch either.
And that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's the one thing that scares me is when we talk about that, like, well, it's DLC or it's an expansion. That's not a diss.
Not a bad thing at all.
No, not at all. Hey, at least
Nope.
you're getting something, and you're getting Spider-Man. You're getting
Right.
the extra
It was
story
good
that
planning,
everybody.
I think, by them.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody wanted it when they brought him into the PS4 game, and then of course the movie came out, so that was huge, very huge. So I mean, it was super smart for Sony, even if I know a lot of people said they held it back for PS5 for that reason. Maybe. Well, good on them. Freaking smart.
It's not like they didn't give you a massive amount of content with Spider-Man. That game's big, and then they gave you DLCs, which were debatable in quality, but still, if you wanted more Spider-Man, you got it.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
You're getting it with
it's a smart move.
Avengers.
I mean, it's a huge IP, and it's their best-selling exclusive. Why would you not take your first party that you signed to be part of your first-party studios? Why would you not put them on, taking 12 months and building out, even if the foundation is a PS4 title, build out something exclusive at launch for the PS5? It was a very smart move.
Super smart.
Yep. So, Dan, welcome back, sir.
Sorry, I had the lawnmower guy show up.
No worries at all. No worries at all. We were on the same conversation. You didn't miss anything. So, great conversation, though, guys. Okay, so let's jump over to Epic starting a war.
Yes.
Because I find this very, very interesting. And Dan and Bert and I were talking about this, and there's been a ton of discussion about it. And so if you aren't well versed on what kind of happened over the past couple of days, this is the very, very, very high level. Epic released a direct payment option for Fortnite V-Bucks on the App Store. Per Apple's policies, that is not allowed. They have to go through the App Store because Apple needs their 30% cut, right? And that's just the way it always has been on the App Store. And my camera's like gone blurry for some reason. Of course, Epic knew this. They're not stupid. They knew this. And then within hours, Fortnite was taken off of the App Store. Now, keep in mind, Fortnite still makes an absurd amount of money. It is played by tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of people. V-Bucks are sold crazy. What did we see, Dan? They make $2.5 million a day.
A day.
A day.
That's just on iOS.
So put into perspective what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
They knew. So Apple took it down. Epic, of course, knew this was going to happen because Apple. And so within a matter of hours, Epic filed legal papers citing antitrust policies against Apple and their design of the App Store. They then did a permanent price reduction on V-Bucks across the entire Fortnite game on all platforms. And of course, someone's like, well, why would they do that? Well, you know why they do that, or you should know why they do that, because what they did, and I'm trying to fix my camera, sorry. What they did is create a conversation around a V-Buck price reduction. So all of those millions of kids who play Fortnite on their iPhones go to play and buy V-Bucks, and guess what they can't do? They can't do that. So then they go to parents and say, why, what's going on? And parents get pissed off. It raises awareness to the issue. Then the most amazing thing that came out of this, in my opinion, was the fact that Epic then in Fortnite ran a video which took Apple's own commercial from 1984, or reference to 1984, that Apple years and years ago used against Microsoft for being monopolistic. They turned it into a Fortnite video against Apple and showed it to every Fortnite player in the world, which of course quickly, spread across social media like wildfire. So it has, and since then, Google Play and Google has since taken Fortnite off of Google Play as well, because they tried the same thing on there. Now, it's still playable on Android because Android is open source, a little different there than the Apple Store, but you can actually play it through Google Play. So long story short, Epic has come out and said that they're doing this to basically kind of lead the charge against closed ecosystems with the rules like Apple has. And of course, we already talked about the whole, xCloud not being able to launch on iOS because of Apple's outdated policies. So I think this is incredibly interesting. I think I posted on Twitter. I just sat back. I was literally about to make popcorn in real life just watching this unfold because I find it both fascinating and hilarious. But it does raise the question of, so for you guys, what's your opinion on Epic doing this? Do you think it's a smart move, stupid move? Do you think it's a waste of time, what have you? Do you think other companies are going to step up with Epic and take on this fight against Apple and Google? And, what would you like to see out of the future here? I think we probably all have the same picture in our heads of what an ideal looks like, from an ecosystem perspective, but it'd still be interesting to hear. So, Bomber, I'll start with you, man.
All right. Let's see. I really care less about Fortnite, honestly, but I think what Epic is doing, is it smart? I don't know if it is. They are taking on one of the two biggest companies in the world, Apple and freaking Google. Like, I have fun because their legal teams are pretty freaking good too. So I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know if it's just going to be okay. They're going to take it off, and now the only way you're going to get V-Bucks mobile wise is you're going to have to just download their app and download it that way and pay for it there. If that's the case and they make it cheaper, maybe everybody is okay with that. Hey, they cut it down. It's $2 cheaper to get the same V-Bucks that you had to buy on Apple. I mean, maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I see it. Does anybody else go with them? I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to really want to be part of that. I'm not going to say the circus that this has become, but I feel like that's what it is like you've kind of started the circus, and you, especially with the ad, like you're taking the jabs. So clearly you sat back for many months to really have a plan, because you had a plan of action. They had it. They put it up just like you said. I mean, as soon as they got kicked out, literally within the hour, okay, now it's on Fortnite for everybody to see. So it's real strange. I don't know if Epic's going to win this battle of whatever they're trying to win for. I guess being able to have them get direct money and not have anybody take cut out of it, because I think that's kind of it's kind of like a weird thing. I mean, I don't know if they even worry about Netflix. It's kind of like the whole Microsoft thing with xCloud. Like they're not getting anything out of it because you're not buying games to it. It's just a subscription, just like Netflix. But I don't know why that was an issue there. But I know that's a different topic. But I don't know. I don't know if this is really good and what it's going to really change. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to change, because I feel like Epic is on their own. I don't know if any other company, because there's really not another company that's this big that makes as much money, like y'all said, $2.4 million a day just in V-Bucks alone. So I don't see this really changing much. I just see that this is a great, awesome thing to watch and sit back and just be like, heck yeah, let these three big old freaking companies go after each other while we enjoy other content.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Luke.
In the immediate short term, this doesn't affect me in the slightest. I am not a Fortnite player, and I do not have an Apple product. However, what Epic sought to do in the wake of Microsoft taking on Apple with xCloud is weaponize an entire community of gamers that are uninformed and are likely going to jump to conclusions very quickly. And it's less about legality and precedent than it is money and outcry. And they have a massive community in the Fortnite arena that will comment things into and out of existence. And there's that can't be understated in that respect. And I'm not arguing that it's good or bad or right or wrong on that particular aspect, but they put that video that was silly and petty and whatnot out there so that all those kids and people would see it and immediately jump into comment sections and start commenting without knowing kind of what it was, what is going on. I mean, it took place almost 20 years before the majority of that player base was born.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was born in '85 and I had to look up what they were talking about. There's something to that.
Yeah.
So they're trying to weaponize that amount of people to back up the precedent that they may not have to combat Apple. That said, for Google to remove it from the app from their Google Play Store, and then for the waits that are happening in there, when major mega corporations at that level battle each other, typically it's the consumers that benefit long term. Short term, You might be locked out. There's a lot of ways to play Fortnite on your various devices, but I think we'll benefit in the long term. I think you're going to see xCloud factor into this at some point in the discussion. It'll loop back. And Microsoft's probably happy they can back off that battle a little bit, or at least not be the focal point. But these store policies and how much of a cut various storefronts are taking is going to be a talking point for years to come. The same that Mixer pushed and altered Twitch, even though they didn't change them in mass numbers, it changed their policies about some things. So I think that's the way that this will play out. But this is good for gamers long term, because mega corporations battling for your dollar are way better than Monopoly.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, the example I gave when we were talking about it offline was Steam. So if you remember Steam, I mean, Steam was a monopoly on PC side, and then look what's happened, right? They had pretty antiquated policies, and then the major publishers started creating their own launchers, right? Get around Steam. If you want to play our games, you have to play here. And then Epic, does the same thing, takes on Steam, and look what happens. Steam has now changed their policies because they just, they know that not changing their policies is going to continue to move people off, and they're just going to lose money in the long run. And I think that's what I would like to see here, is that, there's no reason Apple shouldn't get a cut. You're on their ecosystem, they're on 1 billion devices, like they said, you're using that, but 30% and having no control and having to go through the application processes that they talked about. Like they told Microsoft for Game Pass, you would have to register every single game on Game Pass independently, and it may not be approved. Like, come on. This is 2020, man. I mean, that's not how things work nowadays. And that was Tim Sweeney's point when he talked about it with his huge nuts. Segue.
That's right, buddy. All right, so here's the whole thing. I don't like Apple as a company. Google, same way. I'm firmly planted in Google's ecosystem with my phone. My internet is Google Fiber. There's a lot of things that I have, however, they're pretty much the same. Google's going to take their cut. The problem, I have with all this, before this was happening, just as soon as as early as June, it was Epic was working towards launching their own launcher basically on iOS. They did it on Android. They were in talks with Apple to, get that Epic's Game Store launcher on there. I'm not sure that it ever happened. I couldn't tell you because I don't have a device. But with Android, that's how I access Fortnite for my kids. As I went through the Epic Game Store and downloaded it. Now, I don't know if that's the same. And you can still get the game. If you've got a Samsung phone, you can still buy or get Fortnite for free, and play it on your device, until they take off that entire thing. I don't know. I'm not even sure how that whole thing would work. But now you're seeing companies like Spotify kind of jump in with, Epic, and they've got Tencent's got a share of Spotify as well. So, you can kind of see where they're kind of coming from. The biggest thing for me, since I like you guys don't play the dang game, is I want to see, to Luke's point, I want to see this benefit us in the long run, and it will, one way or the other. But there's also, what's weird to me is that take a company like Voodoo, like the movies, you can get it on iOS. If you go to buy a movie from them, it takes you into a browser, basically avoiding Apple Store. For some reason, that's okay. I don't understand. You're basically launching Safari, and you go to the Voodoo's website, pay for whatever movie you want to watch, and then you can watch it on your iPhone.
You know why? Because because Apple's cut of that is probably $14.
Yeah,
their cut of Fortnite is hundreds of millions.
For sure. But over the long run, the same way with Amazon, right? But you can't just arbitrarily. I guess you can, since it's your system, but just make rules up for whatever kind of media that you're.
That's the argument. Is that they're just because they have a monopoly, they do what they want. They have total control.
It's like, oh yeah, you can do this, Voodoo or whoever you are, Fandango or Amazon. You can come and have your app, but and you can also avoid our percentage by doing this. But all you games people, no, that's not going to happen. And it's 100% a money thing.
Always.
And it drives me crazy. Just all I want is consistency. If you're going to do that for movies, which I don't think is that much different than games, until you start getting to the microtransactions, I guess, I don't have to pay extra for, Brad Pitt being in the movie as opposed to not being in the movie. So it just drives me crazy that, they can't just come out and say, yeah, we're kind of assholes. Basically we're kind of super greedy and that's how it is. It drives me nuts. So Apple can suck it. Google can suck it. But in the end, like Luke said, we will all be winners because something will happen, and hopefully it changes the system. And this isn't anything new. Microsoft does it, with their storefronts. PlayStation does it, Sony does it. Everybody does it. You're going to have to pay something. It's part of being in that ecosystem, and it's part of what you have to pay to an extent. But keep it consistent across everything. Don't just make arbitrary rules because you want to take a bigger cut of a bigger, fish. Basically, that's no. Get out of here with that garbage. That's garbage.
I agree. And by the way, Wilmy stopped by, said he traded his iPhone for a new Samsung Galaxy 20 Ultra on Tuesday. He's happier than Bomber on beard trimming day. Doesn't look like you trimmed that for a while though. That's been a while.
It's been a few months. I'm going another 6 weeks to see if I'm going to trim it then. So
same, Bomber, same. 6 weeks right here.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Hey,
I think it's interesting. It's gonna be fun to watch unfold. I think it's overdue. We wouldn't be in this place with a number of things on iStore, and I think our App Store, and I think there's a reason many people, including myself, aren't the biggest fan of Apple, and it's always been about they have to have proprietary everything and control over everything, and it's not the way it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, when Wilmy said something up here,
I'll come back to that. Go ahead.
Getting a sub, and that's another thing. Apple. On an Android phone, if you want to access Apple Music, it takes you out of there to avoid Google's paywall. So you have to put in like your address and your billing, everything. So if you want to use Apple Music, it's so crazy that they're okay with themselves doing it on somebody else's platform, but you come over to ours and you can eat it because we're Apple. Keep it consistent. That's all I'm saying. Just keep it the same way, and people won't get upset. People, that's what, I'm curious to see, like, if Epic would have came in, lowered their price, and then, put that $7.99 for however many V-Bucks, and it took you to, say, Safari, where you had to sign into your Epic Games account and then purchase it through there. If that would have been okay, because it kind of, it does what every other, subscription service and, purchasing through like movies and stuff, that's how it works. So if they would have done that instead of making it native to the app, I'm just curious to see what would have occurred. We'll never know though. So Sucks. Screw you, Apple.
Stubbs, what's up, Stubbs? He asked, will this go to federal government? Remember, Microsoft had an internet browser monopoly, and there's always cases of monopoly. That's where these antitrust lawsuits come from, right? So that's what Epic is going for. They're trying to make the case. If you look at the actual documents, and I haven't read them all, but there are a few kind of sites out there that show you high level what they're trying to achieve, and that's what they're trying to achieve, is to say that Apple has violated antitrust policies with their rules on the App Store based on their the amount of devices and the control they have over the market. So anyway, give it the old guy thing. All right, we already touched on Remedy a little bit. 2 minutes. Remedy Ultimate Edition only on
Screw
Control.
Screw
We'll get
them.
the. We're done on this one. We all agree.
Well,
The only question I have is, was it Remedy or 505? We don't have the answer yet.
That's true.
That's the only thing I want to know, because Remedy was usually a good guy, and this thing sucks.
it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Now, with that being said, all right, I know Xbox and Phil has come out and said, well, we're not going to ever make you pay for an upgrade. Totally understand that. So, but I'm okay with it, because I know, especially for an older game, I mean, it's not super old. It's a little bit less than a year.
I'm trying to mute Dan, guys. Hold on.
Yeah,
No.
right. I was gonna say
I'm
old
okay.
game. Let's say even closer to people.
Let's see, what's the difference between that and buying a remastered version of a game? I mean, you're paying $40 for, say for Kingdom.
I'm not, because I don't buy them most of them.
Well, I'm just telling you, if Mass Effect Trilogy came out today, I would say, yes, you've remade this, you put the work in to kind of do this. Fine.
These are also those are also games that are many years old.
That's a whole different generation.
Yeah, that's
That's
And the comparison is, this is a year old, and for anybody that bought the game and then bought subsequent DLC,
you're screwed.
they're being punished
Trust me,
and having a lesser aspect. That's the other factor there. So I'm not okay with it at all with the way that it was handled. They are basically saying, now that we've got your money, you don't matter.
Yep.
And whereas they could have said, hey, you've bought almost all the DLC, buy one more and we'll upgrade you so that you have the complete edition. There's precedent for that. So I think that's the difference.
I think that I agree with that. I'm totally on your guys' side. I'm just saying that if I don't know what the amount of work that has to go into this stuff, I don't know, probably not a whole lot, but still something. You got man hours invested into bringing a new upgraded version of something. If it was $5, who cares? If you're especially if you've already played through the game once and you've done all the DLC, you've done everything. If you really, really want to go back and play it, and but also it's what you're getting. It could be just a slightly upgraded version of Control, and then you can vote with your wallet. Then you can say, okay, I'll, which I hate that term, by the way, but you can say, okay, I'm going to pay the $5 or I'm not, because I played the game already, and there's really no need to and play the upgraded version. But I am with you guys. It should just be free, especially with the game. It's like
especially for $40. I mean, it's $40, and you're cutting all your existing customers that have it out. Like that's what you're doing. Like I don't know. It's a complete screw over of your people that love your game. And that's the issue. I mean, anybody doing that, it kind of pisses me off. And they're kind of they're kind of doing it kind of similar to what 2K kind of is. They're forcing you, if you want it now and then you want it on the next gen, you have to buy the $100 version of the game. Without having to buy a separate game. And so that's where it's like, I definitely don't like it. But
I don't think. I mean, it's.
I haven't played it, so it doesn't affect me, but I don't like the precedent they're going to try to set.
Same here. I haven't played Control either, but it pissed me off, and I really don't want to play it.
It's just a precedent, right? Because you don't want to see other publishers, whether it's, like we said, Remedy or 505. We don't want to see other publishers set a precedent of, okay, we're moving to Series X like we were just talking about PS5. It's $10 if you want, you want the patch to make it look and run better on those systems. That's just... we don't want that precedent to be set. And Wilmy, we're not talking about Anthem, damn it. So.
Well, there it is.
Let me tell you what's missing from the Avengers demo. Anthem nailed flying. And Iron Man.
Hey, there we go. Segue. No, it's good.
It's so bad.
We were just talking about that. All right. Before we're coming up, we're getting to grinding our gears in a second here. Real quick, I wanted to touch on Cyberpunk because we did have Night City Wire this week. There wasn't a whole, ton of news shown, but there were some cool things. So first we saw about Life Pass, and you got Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo. What are you guys going with?
If I can play
Corpo?
Yeah.
Really? I was going to say I did not. Jesus, Wilmy, what are you doing, man?
Oh my God, this guy.
That's too generous. Sorry to interrupt you, Dan, but that caught me off guard.
Yeah, every time. Damn it.
Wow.
You're the man, Wilmy. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Wilmy. Now we're
okay.
Now we're talking about Anthem for the rest of the show. There's nothing I can even do about it. So.
Yeah.
So 2.0 needs to come out. I don't know when it's going to. But see, this is
no, thank you so much, Wilmy. That's overly generous. Definitely uncalled for. We greatly appreciate it. And as I've said before, everyone knows us here. Season Gaming's a free, non-monetized site. There's no ads, no nothing. So when we get super chats from you guys, it's literally just running the production of shit. That's where it goes.
Yeah, and hookers.
And blow. Yeah, hookers and blow. I mean, come on. You don't really have to say that. That's like known, right?
I just wanted to make sure they knew where their money was.
Just understood.
So thank you again. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we are now. That caught me off. So you said Corpo, and it threw me off, Dan, because honestly, we ran a poll, and I think Nomad was number one by like a lot. And then Street Kid was number two. And Corpo, I've seen the fewest people say Corpo. So what's got you interested on that side of it?
I don't know, man. I kind of, the whole, it's the industrial or the espionage kind of corporate, whatever. It just looks.
You going to work for Apple or Epic?
Yeah, that's why I want to take them down from the inside. Completely take care of all the microtransactions. Make sure everybody's getting the correct percentage. Whatever I have to do. I don't know. I mean, Nomad it was kind of cool too. I mean, that was probably my second. Let's be honest, man. I'm going to play this 3 times, and I'm going to play it as each one of these things, regardless. So the whole thing looked awesome to me. I mean, kind of like what you said. The middle part of the whole show was kind of like, meh. But with the Life Pass and the weaponry, I mean, if you're not excited for this game, then you're dead to me, and we can't do that. So. Sorry, guys.
And Luke is dead to Dan now.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Who booked this guy?
I don't know. He's a Halo guy, so I can't kick him off. I mean, he's got a permanent spot. But Cyberpunk. Oh, all right. Let's hear it, Luke. Let's hear it.
There is nothing to knock about it. Really and truly, I'm not into it, and I probably will snag it either via review code or purchase. I'm going to probably play it, but I'm not like excited about it. Just hasn't struck a chord the same way I don't think Halo struck chords with Dan or Palmer per se. It's just not in my wheelhouse, but I will try it. I am curious, but excited. Not right now. I was in the room for the Keanu thing, and that was awesome. And then we've talked about that before. It was so cool. I love that. I just am not landing with it at the moment, but I'm not knocking it at all.
Okay, all right. You kind of redeem. I mean, you can stay for the rest of the show anyway.
But Anthem, I'm there for. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Wilmy just gave us a huge super chat and is asking to kick you. So my hands may be tied here. I don't know. I may have to.
I was there for Anthem, Wilmy. Come
on. Oh my God. All right, hold on. Oh shit. Oh, we're still canceling Dan, apparently. Yeah, we'll just keep doing it.
Just keep it up there.
Yeah, just keep it up there. All right, where are you at on this, Bomber?
Dude, Cyberpunk is gonna be my life. And everybody that knows me, I don't finish games. I don't. It's a issue I have. Like, it's hard for me to finish a game. I finally beat The Last of Us Part 1 not too long ago, and then I'm currently still trying to beat Ghost of Tsushima, but it's freaking taking me forever because I keep doing everything else but the main missions, but whatever.
Me too.
But this game, and primarily the setting because of freaking Alita Battle Angel.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's watched that movie.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And it's the like cyberpunk world. They have, these weapons on their arm, whatever. It's just it's cool. And this game just kind of sit with me that way. The only thing I don't like about it, I wish it was third person for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
But everything about this game so far, I love. Like, I love the setting. I love what they're doing with just the intricate details of each NPC. The 3 life paths, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through all 3. Nomad is what I want to go with, but Corpo keeps calling me because I love that. Like, if you're in that starting out in the corporate ladder already, so then you already have a 1-up against the street kids and nomads when it comes to maybe wealth and certain things you could do with certain companies. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe you can screw over people to give you discount. I don't know how that works, but I think it's going to be kind of really just neat. I don't know about the street kid thing. I actually completely apparently fell asleep during the segment of when they talked about street kid because I just remembered Corpo and Nomad. But yeah, Nomad number 1, Corpo 2, then street kid. If I can I don't even know if I can get to the second gameplay. To be honest.
And you guys are making me think more about Corpo now. I wasn't at first. I was going Nomad at first, personally.
Yeah, like Corpo just seems cool because you can. I don't know. I feel like you can do more with it because of like your stature. Your stature is going to allow you to.
Yeah.
You know people in the corporate world, so you can kind of get away with things. Maybe you have the police is on your side. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. No, I think that's part of what makes it so interesting, right? So. Very cool. And then I saw Fawn stop by the way, my fellow Red Dead 2 companion. Talk about the GOAT real quick. We have to put that in there. So they also showed weaponry, which I thought was the coolest part of the video because they showed all kinds of different guns, how they function. They talked about rarity. So there's, full RPG, right? Common, uncommon, rare. And they even talked about how legendaries are not only going to be unique and have unique functions, but you'll run across many missions where either NPCs and even characters that you're aligned with will have a legendary weapon or piece of gear that if you want it, you either have to betray them or kill them and take it, which I think is typical of what we would expect of CD Projekt Red to kind of push the boundaries there. And I'm just super, super excited to, to see this delivered because from an ambition standpoint, dude, my camera is broken today. From an ambition standpoint,
I'm just happy it's on.
That's true. It hasn't turned off yet, so we're doing okay. But I think from an ambition standpoint, it just sounds like everything we hope, and so I just can't. This is easily my most anticipated game. But what do you think about the rest of it with the weaponry? You guys all over it?
Absolutely. Oh god, dude! Like just the customization you could do with them. The fact that
the modding,
yes, the modding,
yeah,
dude. Just I don't know, just the quick things like that. Just it gets me excited. Oh, the melee weapons. Don't get me started. The katanas, like just I don't know, like all that stuff just seems like there's so many ways you can go with this game as far as the way you want to play. I think is why it intrigues me more than anything. Like you could just do. It's almost one of those games that you think about what you just want to do in a video game, and they're pretty much allowing you to do that. And I don't know. This is number 1 game. I know Valhalla is right next to it, but this is my number 1 game. Absolutely.
Are you guys intimidated by the size and scope of a lot of the games coming out this fall? Because I look at I'm looking at my list: Watch Dogs, Valhalla, Avengers is live service, Miles Morales. Like I'm looking at all these games, and some of them are like 50 hours per playthrough just to play one aspect of
minimum
Cyberpunk. You know what I'm saying? That's a little nerve-wracking to me, and it also kind of reiterates to me like, all right, if to our very early conversation in this show is if things are being smart delivered or not getting their upgrade right away, that says, hey, Luke, maybe you can wait on Watch Dogs, maybe you can wait on Cyberpunk or Valhalla, whatever your preferred one to wait is, and then you can play an even better version in 6 months when they get the patch or whatever it is. That's the only redeeming aspect of some of those games, because I look at Cyberpunk and I loved Witcher 3, but that is a big game, and if Cyberpunk is bigger, that is just that's wild to me to consider the life that I have to dedicate to that, all next to so many others.
Yeah, I mean, very good point, because I mean, I have World of Warcraft, Shadowlands will probably be coming out this fall. Got Valhalla, like you said. Watch Dogs, I don't know yet as far as the day one thing. So yeah, that's one of those things that it could be one of those I want to wait until later that it gets updated or whatever. But yeah, and again, for me, that can't complete a freaking 30-hour game.
These are all massive games.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for me, but I'm all about it. Like I just can't keep stop thinking about freaking Cyberpunk, especially. Like I don't know why. Like this game, like I was with Dad, like when they said no for April, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. So my mic would not come off of mute. I don't know if you guys saw me sitting here like this. Like I must have hit the button like 50 times to get.
We heard all that.
I'm not going to hit it again.
We heard it. We heard you.
I was like, what in the hell is that?
Oh, you could hear that? How could you hear the clicking?
We totally powered through it, too.
I don't know.
We powered through that like a boss.
Oh, I'm sorry if everyone heard that. That sucks. But it was like it just kept flashing. I couldn't get it on mute.
How much did you pay for that setup again?
I don't know, $20.
Yeah.
You can. Wilmy hooked you up with a new setup, maybe.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. Cyberpunk. Yeah, that's actually why I'm playing it on this PC at launch, because we talked earlier about the Series X and PS5 kind of full update not being available at launch. So this PC will run it, probably at Ultra. So that's how I'm going to play it, because I know, even as intimidated as I am to your question, Bomber, about this, because like Witcher 3, for instance, I have nearly 300 hours into. Red Dead 2, I have over 200 hours in. I spend a lot of time in these games and these environments, and Cyberpunk's going to be way up there. So when people are like, well, you're going to play it on PC and then play it again on Series X, I'm like, dude, that's just the start. Yeah, that's not a problem for me at all.
And then Switch when it comes out, baby.
So I mean, but I am, and that's actually part of what's helping with the disappointment on Halo being delayed, is that because Cyberpunk is one of those games for me personally that's like a generational type game, meaning it's only once every few years you get a game like this to me. So the fact that that's coming this fall makes the wait for Halo less of a hurt.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's cool when you have that excitement for any game and it just feels that special. That's a good feeling. There are people that like that, feeling that way for Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to Batman. Halo was that game for me. When you have that and then you want everything about it. I mean, Dan bought the console to basically flip on the market, but when you get excited, when you get excited about something, it's cool. And how many people are getting their Cyberpunk this year? That's awesome. That's so cool to watch.
Yeah. And it was
100%.
Announced. Like if you go back to the original announcement, I think it was like 7 years ago.
That was
like
best
the original announcement of it.
Of all time. I have no idea what it is. That was the best trailer I've seen ever. When I saw it, I was like, this is the coolest game ever. And there was probably nothing. They probably done nothing at that point. It was just a CGI trailer.
How's Metroid Prime 4 treating you?
Fantastic.
You see, they're looking for a developer. They're looking for a lead designer.
They're looking for a lead producer. I told Dan, I was like, dude, if you think this game's coming anytime soon, you're fooling yourself.
We talked about Apple customers forgiving Apple. Nintendo customers are special, and I love my Switch sitting right here. Man, they get to take a pounding, and they love it every time. It's crazy.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I love that.
You.
All right.
It's just funny.
No, we talk about that almost every week. We're like, we're going off topic again, but we were talking the other day, Dan and I, about if you're a Switch only player, and there's tons of them, right? And they love the Switch, love it, love it, love it, best console ever made, which it's not. But regardless of their opinion, if you're a Switch only player, think about everything we've talked about today: Cyberpunk, Valhalla, Watch Dogs, Halo, Spider-Man. Keep going. Far Cry 6, all these games we're talking about, right? Not a single one of them you can play on the Switch. Not a single one. I personally don't understand how you can only game on the Switch. I get liking the Switch. I get playing on the Switch. I have a Switch. I get all that. I don't get how you can only play on the Switch. It feels like you're missing the biggest games of all time. It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a random rant I didn't think I'd get into today.
But it's
All
a
right.
good rant, though.
Speaking of rants, we're going to get into what's grinding our gears. So this is a new segment we're doing. Luke, this will be the first time you've actually had this segment. Essentially, this is just for us to bring up a topic that we'd spend 60 seconds on or about to quickly just get off of our chest that's pissing us off. So if there's anything you guys, and you don't have to, not obligated by any means. If there's something going on right now you want to throw out there, go for it. Dan, you got one ready to go?
Specific to gaming?
I mean, well, yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
necessarily.
Preferably. Yeah. In some relation to gaming. Otherwise, we'll be here all day.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, why don't you guys go ahead?
Go for it. Bomber, Luke, you got one off the top of your head?
Give me 10 seconds. You go first, Bomber.
I'll go ahead and go first because
Let's hear it.
I have some complaints. Let's see. The way these companies, and I say these, I just say just companies in general when it comes to gaming, their marketing strategy or the way they come off about these microtransactions. I understand some people love them. I've had multiple conversations with people that do like them, don't like them. Some are good, some are bad. We all know that, but like the way, because there's a game called Avengers that's coming out September 4th that there's probably going to be a lot of microtransactions within this game. Like I feel like it's definitely it's a games of service type thing, but you're paying full price for the game and you don't get all the game. So that's when you companies that bring out a game that purposely have a lot of stuff ready for the game, but you're not going to get it without paying extra for it, bothers me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I did grow up during the times where you bought a game, you got the full game. Like you didn't have to keep paying $10, $15, $20, another $10, another $10 here, and you end up paying $500-$600 for your full experience for the game. I can't stand that. Like that bothers me to no end. And then I also can't stand people that honestly don't love Anthem. I don't understand this this concept. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean that's currently what's driving my gears with that. It's just like I can't stand when companies do that. Like
Yeah, I don't think you're alone on that one. And Dan's still waiting to spend the rest of his micro money in Anthem. I mean, you're just sitting on it,
right?
Yeah, I literally follow an account on Twitter that shows what pops up in the store every, once a week or whatever.
Someone's still doing that?
Yeah, somebody's still doing that. It's always the same stuff. There's no new content. But like I'm waiting for like something to go, or to me to settle on something. I'm just like, yeah, I got to do it. Or do I wait until 7.0 comes out and then we're good to go?
7.0, 2024. Luke, you're getting called out. Luke, what's this all about?
This is not my rant. Bad Bit is way better at competitive games and really bad at Halo Wars and Sea of Thieves. And so depending on what we play, he carries or I carry or our buddy Kev carries. It's quite funny.
There you go.
But the older I get, the worse I get at competitive, man. That's what I'm saying.
I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
I was playing Halo
500% with you.
Yeah.
I'm actually worried about that with Halo Infinite because I get hardcore into Halo multiplayer, like competitive. And when it comes out next year, if I'm getting killed by like scrubs, I'm going to be getting pissed off.
These delays are wrecking us already.
My motor skills are deteriorating. 343. Come on.
Exactly.
You should see me in Fall Guys. It's not a pretty sight.
Oh man.
Did you smack your face off the crown like me?
Man, no. I'd have to get that close. No, I don't even get that close. I think I was like the closest I've ever been was like 5th, and it was
okay.
Gosh, it was terrible.
I don't like the tail game at the end, by the way. That's really stupid to me.
It's the team games. I don't like.
Yes, we know.
I suck.
You want to go ahead and rant? Is that your rant? You gonna go?
No. That I got
my rant. I got my rant ready.
Okay, let's go. Okay,
very real talk. I am very frustrated amidst the entire gaming community, the amount of negativity that gets spewed in one of the best eras of video games, bar none. We are 2020 right now amidst a pandemic, and our entertainment is still being provided to us. New games are coming out. You have options galore if you want the Nintendo life, if you want PC life. Sony and Microsoft are doing different things right now, which mean you have options to spend your dollar in different ways. It is the absolute best time to be a gamer.
Yep.
And people are investing their emotions in the plastic box argument still when the boxes are leaving them. And it boggles my mind. I was just talking about my buddy Badbit, great podcast, hosts the PlayStation show, The Trophy Room.
Yep.
I play with him every day. We play video games together every day, and I host the Xbox Expansion Pass, and we play whether it's cross-play, whether it's on one system or the other. We have a blast, and there's no better time. And when you invest in the argument of sell more units, engagement versus I'm better, it's just ridiculous. And just knock it off. There's so much to play, and we get to, and that's my rant is that you should be celebrating. We're very spoiled. Tell every developer on Twitter how great they are. Because every one comment, they need 100 to counter that of good things. So tell them all good things and tell them when you appreciate them. It's okay. That's my rant.
You know what?
It's beautiful.
Luke is back. He's back.
What do I have? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Hey, if you could come off that convincing, we'll remove Cancel Dan. But as of now, Cancel Dan is being spread on Twitter like wildfire.
It is. It probably is. You know, I guess I should be more excited, but I'm not. So anyway, here's my rant. So this is more of a gaming Twitter thing. I'm kind of sick and tired of like the whole I play everything. So I'm a super neutral guy because it's 100% bullshit most of the time. All right. The own all systems thing is fine. Go ahead and own a Nintendo Switch. Go ahead and own a PlayStation.
Just like I just said, I own a Switch and play. I mean, I love Nintendo, but I still have plenty of complaints about them.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right. And it's probably a matter of me because I follow, one community over the other. I have an Xbox. I have most of my games on my Xbox, probably 80%. And, that's 1,000 games. The problem I have is you can come out here and say one thing and say, oh, I support all systems. But every other tweet that you have is some kind of jab into the other freaking company. And it drives me crazy. And then right after that, it's like, but I own all systems. So,
so I can say what I said. It doesn't matter.
You know what it is? It's the gaming community version of I have black friends.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Ridiculous. It's crazy. And have your preferences. That's fine. You know what? I have mine. Mine is my Xbox. You know why? Not because I like them more than I like PlayStation, because I own more stuff on their system, and it's just a matter of, that's what I had. I had a 360. I won all digital, and I had an Xbox.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. But don't lie to yourself and try to convince other people that you're not a super bad, you're a super hypocritical fanboy, because that's what you are. Really deep down, all the, stuff that you tweet out is, pro Xbox or pro PlayStation or pro Nintendo. But you with your next tweet, it's, but I own all systems. I don't want to hear that garbage anymore because it makes no difference to me. You're right. It just you are what you are. Own your shit too, man. Just own it. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna, and then you get upset when people call you a fanboy. I can't remember what this guy's name, and I wouldn't say it anyway, but it was about a year or two ago, right before I got off of Twitter, and he made a video about how he was upset because people kept calling him a PlayStation fanboy. And if you looked at every other one of his tweets, and he's kind of a big guy. I'll tell you who it is later, but
I was going to say, we don't normally call people out by name here.
No, not here. But it's a very, very good example. I mean, it was like a minute-long video of him just like, I don't understand, guys. Why do people call me a PlayStation fanboy? And then like every one of his tweets is like, PlayStation. Fine. Just own it, though. You know what I mean? Don't
says in the chat you're talking about Jack Trenton?
No. No idea.
Jack Tretton, one of the most famous PlayStation leads, marketing guys.
No. I don't know him. Is he work?
No, he's joking.
Yeah,
Regardless, the problem is, I just be yourself. go out there, have fun. I've met a lot of good people on Twitter. I've also met a lot of people that are fake as hell that, don't try to convince me. It drives me crazy. And, don't make excuses for one platform, but don't make excuses, and then not, it's just so frustrating. And it's good people. It's people that I know. And you just admit it. Come out of the fanboy closet, and there you are. We're done. You know what I mean?
There you are.
It's fair. It's fair. And you know what, Dan? Just for today, Dan is back, everyone. Welcome back, Dan. Welcome back, Dan.
Yes. That'll change in about 5 minutes.
I'm deleting this banner pretty quickly, so don't get used to it.
Yeah.
The cancel Dan one's like at the top. So my rant, I don't really have a big rant per se. The one thing that I was going to say, and this is not a shot at anyone in particular, is one thing that that annoys me, especially knowing our community, knowing Luke and Expansion Pass and Bomber and Wilmy and the Gaming Beyond the Box and the Lords, and we're all kind of similar community in that we all get along, we have similar thoughts, and I don't know what I'm trying to say right there, but my point is, without naming myself, saying all the good ones in the community. But there is a segment of the gaming community on Twitter, and this kind of goes a little bit with what you were saying, Dan. But there's this segment that is just all about self-promotion. Just endless self-promotion. And they want other people to promote them, but they have no tolerance for promoting other people. Do you know what I mean? It's only matters when it comes to them. And that, I think, is one of the worst aspects of the community, especially for smaller content creators, sites, channels, podcasts, whatever you may be into. There's a really, really good core community here. I just said, right? We've got multiple content creators here and outlets and channels, plenty in the chat as well. Stubbs is another one I'm seeing, there is Fork Boy. What's up, man? So part of Gaming Beyond the Box. We're going to be playing Halo here shortly. There's a good community there and very supportive of each other. A call out to Chris and Next Level Gaming, our guys there. Indie Gamer was here. I'm probably going to forget people, so I'm sorry. This wasn't meant to be a shout out. My point being is there is this other segment that I just see, and I shouldn't even see it on my timeline. But stop acting like you're all about the gaming community when you only are interested in yourself and other people supporting you. Because it doesn't go unnoticed. We all see it. All it does is piss us off. So that's it. I'll leave it there.
Amen. No, amen.
You sure you want to be specific?
No, I'm not going to be specific.
You don't have to. You know what? I want to get like a little bit serious for 1 second, like real.
Wow.
All right, this is one more thing that bothers me, but it bothers me on more of a personal level. If you are on Twitter, or if you have something going on in your life that really is hurting you, all right, and you are in some kind of, you've got depression or you got something else, please see somebody for real in real life. All right, Twitter is a terrible place to come out and say this kind of stuff. It may help you for a small period of time, and if that's the thing that is really helping you, fine. But really, man, I've seen friends go down this path and it's ended very, very poorly. So if you really have these problems, please seek somebody out in real life. Don't rely on a social media, a very, very toxic social media platform.
It's the worst place to rely, to be honest.
It's terrible, and I hate seeing it. And I really, really hope that you guys can find something, to fix those problems that you have, or at least help you get to a better place. Because there's going to be times where that one person comes on, and with all, you've got 100, like Luke said, you've got tons of these positive comments, and that one negative comment will set you back off again. And I hate when I see that kind of stuff, and I feel so bad for these people, and I just want them to get real help. So please seek that out if you have to, and don't bring it to Twitter, because it's just bad for you, and those people will come and find you and seek you out, and it's not the way to do it. I don't want to lose any more friends, is what I'm saying. So
fair enough.
It's got a little serious. Sorry, my bad.
Nope. It's
don't apologize
very,
for that. It's a great point.
Very relevant topic. Very relevant.
People don't talk about it. I mean, that's
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like,
Don't
nobody
apologize
talks-
for talking about it. That's what we should
Exactly.
be talking about.
So yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. Social media is not the place. There's plenty of real friends. We're
Yeah.
among them that I've made on social media. And obviously, anyone who knows me, you can hit me up on DM anytime, and I'm always open. But just going to broad social media, broad Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and trying to deal with your problems is a bad way to go about it. Yeah, find someone you can really talk to.
For real, man.
All right.
Ooh. Sorry.
Damn, Dan, you caught me off guard with that. I'm all thrown off now. But amen. All right. Currently playing. So let's just talk about current games, and then we'll see what's happening. So if we were talking just before, it's the 15th as we're recording here. So this week we get Flight Simulator. Hell yeah. On PC, Battletoads as well, officially. And I think the following week, if I remember correctly, is Tell Me Why and Wasteland 3. So we'll be talking about those in the upcoming weeks. But we also got a lovely 66 gigabyte update for Modern Warfare this morning. It is now a 200 gigabyte game on Xbox. What are we doing? What are you doing?
It's stupid.
No, it's not a joke. It's very real.
No, very real. I just downloaded it this morning. It was stupid.
I don't know what they're doing. And the best part is 66 gigabytes. And what did they say? This is to fix a weapon glitch.
Yeah, the one that Dr. Disrespect made a wonderful advertisement piece for it, which was pretty hilarious. But yeah, it's I don't understand this with COD. Like, I love this game. I do. I like playing.
It's a great game,
but I can't stand the fact that this game, just this one update, is bigger than all of Avengers. Like, you got to be kidding me.
It's bigger than most games. Most games
exactly.
are 66 gigs.
Like, it's.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I'm gonna live through you for the flight sim because my PC no.
Yeah, I think it's going to burn most PCs to the ground. But shockingly, though, in all seriousness, Flight Sim, if you want to play it like you see the images, you need a pretty beefy rig. But if you just look at their standard requirements, they're not that bad. They still need a decent PC, but they're not like astronomical. Anyway, what are you guys up to? Bomber, I'll start with you, man. What are you playing nowadays? What are you looking forward to?
Still kicking through Ghost of Tsushima, man. That's
okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Like right now, it is my game of the year. Easy, like
Dan too.
Like straight up, it is the most fun I've had in a game in a very, very long time.
Nice.
Like I actually care to want to go play it. So that's one thing I'll give to that. But other than that, I've been playing currently just because this weekend is Avengers.
Yep.
Loving it. Honestly, I was completely against it because of the possible way that they may do their microtransaction stuff, but playing it, it's kind of changed my perception. So a lot of people that have just seen people play and go, "Oh, it's trash," or it's terrible because I watched this person play and it looks terrible. Nah, go play it. It's fun. Hulk. Oh my gosh, yes. That he's my bae. He is.
So are you looking forward to Avengers 2.0?
Yeah, looking for Avengers 2.0, 2.5, 2.79, basically all of them for the next 10 years. Absolutely. I mean, the downside is, no Spidey. And this is the crazy thing about the Avengers thing. I know it's going to be real quick. I think it's going to be more impactful than a lot of people were thinking prior, just because of each of these characters, the way they play. Mm-hmm. I think having Spider-Man is going to be kind of big for the PlayStation side. Not gonna lie, like I can see that being a bigger deal now, just because of the way I've seen some of these other characters. But yeah, other than that, World of Warcraft, of course. So
nice. World of Warcraft, nice. I've played it to try it, but I've never gotten into it. And everyone's always like, "Don't do it. Don't do it," because I literally from 2004 to 2014 straight. That's years. Wow. $15 a month. Buying all the expansions. Yeah. So crazy.
Don't do it.
That's cool though about Ghost of Tsushima. I think a lot of people are feeling that way, that it's their current game of the year. I mean, Cyberpunk's not out yet, but
Cyberpunk is probably gonna destroy it, and that's fine. But
no, I think Ghost, very good game, and I'm same as you. I'm still on Act 1 at the end of Act 1 because I want to do everything else, and then of course I had Shiny Object and I'm playing other stuff, but I need to get back to it. So, Luke, what are you up to, man? You still playing Halo Wars 2 on the regular?
On the right, yeah. Halo Wars is an evergreen title for me. I love that game. And I tend to go through. I'm the perfect Game Pass customer because I'll play lots of the little games like Carrion and Xeno Crisis hit there recently. Those were fun. But I really, quite by accident, got back into Sea of Thieves, which is, I think I was seeing it, charting everywhere, and I just jumped back in, and I wanted something lighthearted and happy looking, because it's been a weird year. It's been a rough year. To Dan's well-made point earlier, and I just needed something a little more lighthearted. And then going back into Sea of Thieves, the game remains beautiful as ever, but there is so much content in that game now. I decided I wanted to go for Pirate Legend before Series X. Just why, I don't know, but I really dig that game. Who's laughing at me? Which one of you's laughing at me?
I think it's Dan.
Dan, you laughing?
No, it was me. It was me.
But I'm really having a blast with it, and seeing all the new stuff and finding out what I can and can't do. And I really dig decking out my boat with like Halo stuff or Gear stuff, or like I'm really having a blast with it. And if anyone wants a casual game, it's there. If you want a hardcore game, that's there too. It's just surprising to me that I'm loving Sea of Thieves as much as I am, but I'm all in. I wish I'd gotten the controller, because now it's $600 on eBay, which is a bummer.
I actually, believe it or not, I sold mine recently because of that. I had it brand new. I never opened it. I had it brand new, and I had the controller stand for it too.
Oh wow!
And I won't tell you what I sold them for, but it was a lot of money. Yeah.
I'd see these, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah. So, sorry, Luke. I was gonna say I couldn't believe when I saw that what they were going for. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, is this real? Yeah. So if you're not aware of what we're talking about, the Sea of Thieves licensed controller, the limited edition one for Xbox One, especially if you have the controller stand for it from Controller Gear, they go for $400 to $500 now for a $60 controller.
I just want it, like, on my wall, I have a signed poster by the Sea of Thieves team because I love the anniversary update and everything. I love that thing. But I wanted to get like a little statue or just something to start decking the room as I'm kind of rebuilding in our new home. And the Totaku figures are hard to find. Can't find a controller. Like, I just want to celebrate Sea of Thieves. Can't. It's tough to do.
So hit me up, because I've got some stuff that I'm kind of sure you probably don't have from Sea of Thieves that I might hit you up with.
All right, I don't have $600 to buy a controller.
No. You know me better than that. Yeah,
no,
I didn't sell my controller to someone I know for that kind of money.
I bought the Halo sword because of Ains, y'all, and he got one for free.
I feel like he owes me. I don't know why he paid for it. I mean, I think Lunch asked me. Lunchbuzz asked me earlier if have you built yours yet? I haven't built mine yet.
No. I did a video on Twitter that I'll probably put up a sequel to called Spartan Luke, and I got a little.
I saw it.
Did you? Yeah. I got a bit that I've got going with that now that Halo's canceled, so it's going to be part of that. But I'm so excited to build it because it looks like it looks cool, and I bought a new shelf. I'm redoing my room, so it's going to go up on top of the shelf and stuff.
Nice.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I've been building this damn NES, which is ridiculous. It took a while.
Nice.
All right, Dan, what you been up to?
Just playing old stuff, man, because there's not a whole lot of new stuff yet. Next week, I'll probably, since Flight Simulator's free, I'll give that a try. So my computer can run it, which I think it can. And then it's basically Far Cry 5 and Shadow of War is what I decided to go with for some reason. I have no idea why. It's Shadow of War is still good, but the controls on it, I've realized, even in the 3 years it's been, it's not good. They're all over the place. And then Far Cry 5.
Did you ever beat Far Cry 5 originally?
Yeah, I beat him that one and New Dawn.
Okay, so you're just going back for the hell of it, huh?
Yep, that's it.
Cool. Shadow of War is an interesting one. I don't know if you guys remember when Shadow of War came out. That's the second one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When that came out, there was a mistake on Walmart or one of the sites where you could get the $100 edition for $10, and I have it because of that. I got it for $10. I don't think I ever played it, so it's still a waste of $10. But I have it, if nothing else. Looks like Dan's got something going on. So for me, Fall Guys, I'm playing around with. I think some of you know I'm doing a Dark Souls 3 stream, which has been way more fun than I expected it to be. So thanks to all of you who continue to come out for those, because it's been a riot. And that game is game's incredible. I love that game,
especially with your archery skills, man.
Whiskers, master archer. Going back and playing Halo CE. So I think I mentioned before that Want to go back through that for the 30th time or whatever it is, because I'm writing a retrospective on that, similar to like I did for Last of Us and BioShock and some other game I'm forgetting right now. And then this week I bought Neo 2. So Neo 2 came out whenever it was, early this year. And for PS4, very, very hard game. I kind of like it, but it just doesn't hit the same tone as Souls for me. I don't know if any of you guys have played. Do you play the Neo games?
I've never been a Dark Souls person.
Okay.
I guess that kind of combat because
Souls-like, yeah,
because I get very, not gonna lie, I get mad.
Fair.
I did buy because it was cheap, because it was like a buy two get two free through GameStop with Bloodborne, and I actually got Neo as well. I haven't played Neo yet, so I'm still waiting because I'm still trying to see if I can even get through Bloodborne, because literally I was stuck at the very beginning of Bloodborne for 45 minutes because I didn't know I was supposed to go get weapons when I didn't have any.
So Neo is interesting because it is very hard. In fact, I would argue I'm struggling more with Neo 2, or not struggling, but I mean, I think it's harder than Dark Souls. But Neo is not as, it's more directed than Dark Souls. It's not as like, just kind of out there. It's level based, and you know what you're supposed to do on each level. It's much more narrow in scope from a world perspective, which is actually what I don't like about it. I wish it was more like connected world like Dark Souls rather than these individual levels. But yeah, you could give it a try. Neo 2 plays just like Neo 1 for the most part so far. It's got a few other things, but it's okay. I'm enjoying it.
I think it's
Dan, you all
on sale
good?
too, isn't it?
Neo 2, I got, I got the special edition with the steel book, so it was down to half price, $40. But I had like Best Buy certificates and stuff. I paid like $20 for it.
Okay.
So, Dan, you all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Got
to go air up a tire real quick.
You got all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh man, it's
all right,
airing up as we speak, so I'm good.
All right, well, we're right at the 2-hour mark. We're going to get ready to head out of here, but I wanted to call out a few things real quick. So as you can see behind me, I finished this Lego NES build yesterday, put up some pics of it, and there's a video on our channel of it that I created. It's obviously not me building the whole thing because it took way too long. What?
Whoa.
What?
What is that?
I think Dan's freezing. You guys are good, right?
Here?
Yeah, we're fun. Dan is freezing on my screen as well.
Okay, Dan, you're having... Anyway, so video NES build out on the channel if you want to check it out. I give you some close-up looks at it too, which is cool. We've got a long new article from Steve coming this week that he's really excited to share, so we're reviewing that right now. It'll be up probably Monday or Tuesday. Xbox expansion pass with Luke, and Luke, you were probably going to shout this out, but I'm going to call it out anyway. You just interviewed Ryan McCaffrey.
Awesome.
I did. Yeah. On the last week's episode was Adam Brennicky, the game director of Grounded, and I just spoke with Ryan McCaffrey of IGN and previously OXM about his near 2 decades of experience in Xbox coverage. I almost cried when we started this show because I realized that my audio recorded from my camera mic on my end. And so I had podcaster curse. It was the second time we tried because his mic died the first time. So the audio's there. You're going to hear it. But if anybody listens to the show, please be understanding of my side as I work to clean it up.
Oh, that sucks, man.
I know. I really like that because it was one of the best conversations I've ever had with the content with anybody for the show. And what a great dude. He was so great. Just to hear his stories and hear him talk about like getting Seamus Blackley and Peter Moore. And
episode 200.
Yeah.
I remember that. I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah. So it was a great conversation. Ryan was with me. That goes live on Monday on the Xbox expansion pass. Sweet. And then the week following, Luis Antonio and I have recorded. He's the creator of 12 Minutes. If you guys remember that.
Nice.
Yeah. And that'll be on the following week. So I've actually had a string of very enjoyable interviews that I've had.
Awesome.
But please be forgiving about the web. I'm so upset, y'all. Like I really almost like teared up because I'd worked so hard on this thing. I was like, no. Oh, what a week. But yeah, Xbox expansion pass. I'd love it if you guys checked it out. I mean, the world to pick it up.
Yeah. That happens to all of us. I can't count the number of times where we've done something and it just does not come through. There was a whole episode that we recorded, Dan, wasn't there, of like backseat gaming with Bert remotely. We spent like hours and hours doing, and the whole thing was shot. Like something failed, the video failed, and we never even published it. Like it's just ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's awesome though. Anything else you want to shout out, Luke, before we head out?
I mean, you can find me on Twitter and any other Twitch and all that, InsipidGhost. But what I would most appreciate being a solo content creator would be if you guys check out XEP, because Xbox Expansion Pass is my baby, and I'm working real hard to try and grow it to be something that's enjoyable for everybody. So.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I know we've talked about it before, and we'll continue to do so. Here, another thing that really helps guys with podcasts in particular is please, if you're downloading it from one of the major sites, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Google Play Store, whatever it is, review it. Give them a good review. Leave a review, because that actually helps a lot with the SEO on those things. So please do that. Bomber, great finally having you on, man.
Yeah,
I know we've been
great.
trying to get it aligned for a while. We are actually here in less than an hour about to be playing some Halo CE on streaming on Gaming Beyond the Box channel.
Yes,
so I will be on, you'll be on, Fork will be on, Iron Lords, hey, they just jumped into the chat. So Cog's going to join us, Elu's joining us. Luke, show it up. There we go.
Yep. Just had to let him know. Much love to ILP. Salute. They are amazing.
Luke, I know you said you had stuff going on today. If you're online in the next, starting in an hour from now, if you're online over that time, just hit one of us up on a party. You can jump in.
Cool.
But yeah, it should be a real good time. So definitely check us out. But Bomber, tell us what else is up.
Man, honestly, for me, not a whole lot. Just being on Game Beyond the Box every Wednesday is my main thing. I don't have any other content that I create personally, just because time. So
sure.
That show is so funny, man. It's so funny.
I love it. I mean, I love being part of it. It's been a great thing for me personally, just for me to actually have an outlet of something to do versus
awesome.
I tried doing streaming and that just did not go over just because of the way I have my computer sucks. So there's a lot of things I have to do to try to even get something working. So yeah. I just podcasting is where I just decided to go. So, but I definitely appreciate y'all even asking me to come on, and I'm happy to be here. So this was awesome, and being able to actually see Luke first time, because I listened to that literally that last week. That was phenomenal. I loved listening to that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I loved it. So, but no, I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's like I said, good community. I always say, we don't even have the largest, audience, but our audience is your guys' audience. You know what I mean? It's all similar people that we know are listening and watching these shows. So thanks for coming on. And I'm looking forward to some Halo here shortly. Dan, are you alive and well? What's happening over there?
I don't know. I explained to my wife, she's like, oh, I didn't want my tire to explode. I went down there and set the automatic thing to go off at 40, PSI.
Yep.
And then she's like, well, my light went off in my car, so I took it off. I'm like,
The classic big sigh.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'll see you later.
All right.
Anyway,
anything you want to call out, Dan?
No, you know what? I'm good. Actually, I'm about halfway through a written review for the Kishi. Been working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do a little quick. I was gonna do a video, but I suck at it, and I'm not gonna do that. That's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. I have no skills whatsoever in editing and or making videos, so I can write stuff.
No, the more I see content out of some of the big video creators, we all know, man, it's so impressive what some of those guys do. And I make videos. Hell, I just said I just published one this morning, right? But the level at which some of those guys do it with all the footage and different ins and outs and stuff, it's really impressive. It takes a lot of time, way more time than people realize to do that stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So awesome.
That's it.
Okay, cool. Well, funny enough, I think Cog just jumped in the chat here, but he's using the same thing. I'm playing the Kishi because he was comparing it to the Switch and everything. How do you feel, real quick, the buttons, the thumbsticks, the quality of it compared to Switch?
Oh, I mean, it's very similar, I would say, to that. I would say you probably need a pretty decent sized phone. I mean, if it's anything with a USB-C, but I think I've got the Note 9 and it doesn't seem like there's any movement on it whatsoever. We put my son's OnePlus 7 on it and it seemed to be a little bit looser. But as far as the buttons and stuff goes, I mean, let me tell you something. Take that controller, as King David would say, and throw it in the bushes, because that's the way to play.
The clip?
That clip?
Controller clip?
Get out here with that clip.
Yeah.
It is the as he would say,
TPO.
Yeah, right there. Don't even, I mean, you will never go back once you get that. I mean, yeah, it's expensive, but if it's something that you're going to invest in, 100%, I'd go with that instead of a controller.
Always.
Yeah, if you got the money.
Razer makes pretty good stuff typically. I mean, they're, you know, as with many things, you get what you pay for. So, Cog's cracking up over here. Good to see you, Cog. I know you were on Brap Show this morning, I believe. So awesome. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here. Man, it's been 2 hours, 10 minutes. We're having a lot of fun. Great show, guys. Thank you for coming out. Chat, you've been amazing. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by today. Truly appreciate it. Like I said, here in the next hour, if you got nothing else to do, come join me. Gaming Beyond the Box, Bomber, Fork, Cog from Lords. A bunch of us are going to be on Halo CE, streaming on the Gaming Beyond the Box channel here, starting at 3 p.m. Central. So we'll see you then. Till next week.